We're going to start today with case number 2307 and 20 Glen Road. The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing in the select board's meeting room at Town Hall, 16 Lowell Street, Reading, Massachusetts, on Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 7 p.m. on the application of Gerard Welch pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 10, for a variance under Reading zoning and bylaw sections 4.5.2, 6.0, 6.3, and 7.4, as may be determined by the zoning board, to construct a new front landing with a non-conforming front yard setback on the property located at 20 Glen Road, Assessors Map 20, Lot 172, in Reading, Massachusetts. Unless there's an objection, I'll dispense with the reading of the abutters list, except to say that the abutters were notified, as were the following: the select board, town clerk, police department, fire department, building department, conservation commission, health department, assessor's office, engineering division, CPDC, and the members and associate members of the Board of Appeals, as well as the planning boards of Wakefield, Linfield, North Reading, Stoneham, Woburn, and Wilmington. Testimony before this board is under oath, so if you think you're going to be speaking at this hearing, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Hi, could you just identify yourself, please?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Gerard Welch, and this is Christine Welch, and we're the present owners of 20 Glen Road. And this is Liz and Gertie, and they're the future owners of 20 Glen Road.
Hello.
So basically, what we proposed, where should I hold this up over here? Is good? Is that, all right. So basically, this 20 Glen Road, originally back in the fall, we purchased the property and it was condemned. It was a condemned property. It was rat infested. It was really nasty, and we tore it down and we replaced it with a new house. So originally, we submitted an application to the building department for this plan in the middle here. It's I call it proposed plan A. And what we had on it was that we had to replace the house. The lot's existing non-conforming. It's only a little over 5,000 square feet. So we replaced the existing footprint with the exact same footprint that was originally there on the original house. And on the original house, there was a side entry on the front door was coming in from the side. But on our plan, we wanted to put a front door facing the street. We wanted to put a set of stairs, and we wanted to put a roof over the set of stairs. The building department said that we were in violation of the front line setback with the roof and the landing. So we had a 6-foot wide landing, and we put a roof over it. And our setback from the front street is a 20-foot setback. Our setback is 20.2. Was the existing foundation was 20.2 feet. So we revised the plan to get the building permit, and we changed it to a 4x4. They said we could put a 4x4 platform and a set of stairs because we need a platform to meet the building code. So that's the plan that was approved by the building department. But we've applied to the board for variance so that we could actually go back and put a bigger platform and a roof over it. So that's actually the request for the variance. And then I call this proposed plan B. If the board decides that they would not allow the roof, the secondary request would be to put just a bigger platform without the roof. But we would prefer to put 6 foot by 3.6 platform and a roof over it. Basically, that's the whole application.
Okay, so the platform that's been approved is 4x4, you said?
4x4.
Okay, and then the 6x4?
Actually, we're going to shrink the proposed one we're asking for is only 3.6, so it's actually a little bit less, just 6 inches less, just setback from the street, because we're proposing a 3'6" platform by 6 feet wide. And the sideline setback meets the 15-foot offset from the sideline, so we're not in violation of the sideline setback.
Okay.
Was the original, because I know it was on the side before, right? Was that in
The
violation?
front door came in from the side, so there was a set of stairs over.
Did that originally violate the side setback?
Yeah, it did. We tore it down. It
Or
was.
front of substitute? How much of the 20-foot setback does this is the one that you want to do, take up?
So the 20-foot setback, we're proposing to go to 16 feet, 0.7 to the landing. And then the roof would be the same shape as the platform, so the roof over it would be 6 foot by 3.6, a gable roof over the landing.
The first one on the left, that had no roof.
Well, this is the one, the building, we applied for a building permit here, and then they said that we had to change it to this 4x4 platform with a set of stairs to meet setback requirements. So we revised the plan so this is the one we have now permitted to do this one.
What drives the variance request? The landing or the roof?
Or both.
Huh?
Both would, more the roof. I mean, so stairs are exempt by the zoning bylaws, doesn't say anything about landings.
Correct.
But building code, you need a landing for stairs, so kind of like an in-house rule even before my time, which I agree with, was we'd allow a minimum 4x4 landing to access the stairs. With no roof. Because then the roof would be in violation of the same, just to meet building, because the zoning bylaws don't touch on landings or anything, it just says stairs are exempt, but building code, you need a platform to get to the stairs.
Correct.
So that's why we allow a minimal landing.
When did you come to the conclusion that that central picture is the way you wanted to go?
Well, that's the original plan we designed to put on the lot. We submitted these architectural plans to the building department for a building permit, and they denied the permit based on us not having the proper setback on this front roof. So we eliminated the roof and made the platform smaller to comply so we could get a building permit.
So it's the width of the platform essentially is part of the issue there. I mean, obviously it's the roof. The roof on the middle plan is going to be the major issue, but if 4x4 was approved, whereas you're now
3.6.
proposing was it a 3.6 by 6?
6 by 6.
So the width is the 6th, and then the 3.6.
And it
so it's a
actually,
shorter-
our door is 6 feet wide too, because there's 2 side lights, so the platform.
from an aesthetic standpoint.
Yeah,
you want-
it makes
absolutely.
it a lot nicer having a 6 foot wide set of stairs.
And the roof is also going to be that 3.6 as well.
Yeah, it would be the same. We would keep it the same. On the filing we submitted, we have more detailed plans of the actual roof. It has all the dimensions and on this plan here, it has all the dimensions and the type of materials we're using. AZAC trim, and the shingles will match the house.
I didn't get a chance to walk by. What's the current status of the project?
It's almost done. We're gonna landscape, we don't have a set of stairs, we don't have, other than that, almost done.
So the door is empty, there's no stairs going up to it or landing?
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to landscape in the next couple of weeks, so.
Anybody else have any questions? Anybody on the board have any comments?
No, I just question the timing of the whole thing. Why we're here at the 11th hour looking for a variance, when it seems to me it could have been done a lot sooner.
Well, it took us 2 months it took a long time to file the application and then send out all the abutters list and everything. That was probably an 8-week, took us that long to get it, onto the queue.
Yeah, if you look beside this, the foundation as-built survey is from January, so it hasn't been established established for too long.
Just, Mr. Welch, obviously there is a set of criteria for variances where you have to kind of look through and essentially work through the 4 specific criterias. I mean, do you mind just kind of taking us through some of that criteria, just to what it is about the land itself that you believe makes the variance necessary? It's also something along the lines of just where the little enforcement of the provisions, how that would affect your particular plans.
Well, the lot being an undersized non-conforming lot is the first, criteria for a hardship. The existing house was 20 feet, 20.2 feet from the street, which we had to comply with. To replace that house, we had to stay in the same footprint. So any set of stairs we put on the house is going to be inside that 20-foot setback. And so that's the shape of the lot, and the distance from the existing older house to the street created the hardship. We couldn't slide the house back any further. We'd be out of the footprint in the back. So if we proposed to slide the house back 4 feet, but the building department said, no, then you'll be in violation of the
rear setback?
we'll be encroaching on not the rear setback, the sideline setback.
Okay.
We would be adding 4 more feet, to that. And that would be a violation also. So the hardship was that we had to keep the house exactly where the other footprint of the existing house was.
You wouldn't have, if you did what he just described, went backwards on the lot, you wouldn't have created a new non-conformity, you would have extended the existing ones. Is that right or wrong?
Well, yeah, you would have extended it, but I mean, the way the bylaw is, if you can either tear down and if you can't meet the setbacks, it has to be on the original footprint, or you have to meet all the setbacks. So I mean, if he pushed it back, it wouldn't be on the original footprint, basically.
And the sideline was, the original house was 14 feet from the lot line, the setback's 15.
Correct.
So we were in violation of.
I know that one of the buyers was sworn in too. Did you want to speak as well?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So good evening, ma'am. Good evening, gentlemen. Just like Jerry said, my name is Gertie, this is my wife Liz. We've been living at actually 16 Glenbrook, right next door for the past 6 years. And then when the opportunity came in to actually build the house right next door, we were like, oh, this is great. Our kids will be going to the same schools. My parents live right on Prescott, so it's nice to actually stay in the town, right? Why do we think that would it be helpful for us to, especially to have that roof kind of, over the steps? Usually with 2 little kids that we have, we got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. So every time we come in and out, it's raining, it's snowing, my wife is trying to put the kids inside and, the kids are out there getting wet. I'm a civilian in the military, so I'm often deploying out there in the Middle East. Actually, I just came back from Qatar. I'm about to go to Saudi. So I'm often out of the house, maybe once a month or so for weeks, depending on how orders come in. So she's always left alone with the kids and trying to do that. It was always something that we felt in the current house that we have right now, because we don't have a roof over that right now. So the kids being little, they're always out there getting wet, catching a cold. Aside from the fact that being helpful for the family and the kids will also look nice on the neighborhood, and I've also seen some other neighbors, they do have, the roof, and I'm not sure if that's been grandfathered in or whatever, the case is, but also talking from all the neighbors on the street, they don't seem to have an issue with it, they seem to be a good idea, but I mean, we're here, for your consideration, if you mind to take it under consideration to get your decision, we really appreciate it. So along with all the technical details that Jerry presented, I think from our part as a family, it would really be helpful to kind of, keep the kids not getting wet. I mean, even yourself, when you get out there, you're like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Especially with groceries and stuff, with 2 little kids. The other month when I was out, she was at Whole Foods doing her groceries, came in, and accidentally the kids locked themselves in the car, so she's panicking, calling up firefighters, they came in, and I understand that, am I going too far-fetched on this, but I would think that it would definitely make an impact, on our lifestyle, with the little kids that we have. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll open it up for comment by members of the public, if there's anybody who wants to speak on this? Okay, nobody has come forward. Are there any further questions or comments by the board?
Are you planning a railing too?
Oh,
Railing,
yeah, railing, we're gonna do
Both sides?
colonial posts and wrought iron railings.
both sides?
Yes.
Did you happen to discuss this with any of your neighbors, or did you get any pushback? Do you know?
No, none.
And I discussed it with neighbors too, like I said earlier, all the neighbors, you know, they're okay with it. And they all got the letter from you guys here. And first, you guys have anything you want to say, you know, you want more hearing, you know, have your thoughts and comments and concerns. Like I said, they're good.
Brett, can I ask you something? I'm just not understanding the difference between the allowance of the 4 foot and the denial of the 6 foot. Because it's not any closer to the front setback, is it?
Yeah, but then it's, you know, how far do you go? Could you build a deck if it's, you know, so you need a landing for the stairs, so the
Oh,
zoning
okay.
doesn't mention anything, our zoning bylaws don't mention anything about landings, it just mentions stairs. But by building code standards, you need a landing at the top and bottom of the stairs. So we allow for a minimum 4x4, which is, you know, the minimum size that's required by code is what we would allow basically by right.
Okay,
Instead of, you know, something, oh, I need a landing that's 3 feet wide by, not in this case, but 20 feet long, it's like, how do you regulate it, you know? So we just go with whatever's the minimum standard for code is what we'll allow. You know, if zoning touched on the landings, it might be a thing, but it just mentions stairs, so it's kind of,
okay, so the 4 foot also
so we do
imposes
4
on
by
the
3.
setback, but it's necessary, so it's allowed.
Yeah, it's required by
Yeah.
state building code. yeah.
Okay, but that is that extra 2 feet that is the problem in the roof.
Yeah, so sometimes they come in 2 feet in the roof, and, yeah, sometimes they'll come in, you know, 10 feet by 3 feet and say, oh, it's just a landing, you know, but that's kind of where we get that number from.
And we had somebody enter the room after I opened it up for public comment. Sir, did you want to speak on this case? No? Okay, thank you.
For those who weren't here when I announced, there is a sign-in sheet in the corner. If you haven't signed in, it would be appreciated if you do. Thank you.
All right, anything else from any member? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
Chris, want to give his first shot?
I would be happy
You
to,
have
I just
the-
do not have the script in
You don't have the
front of me. So-
Explain like the vote
Yeah.
to the applicant just in case, I don't know where the vote is going, but.
So I would move to grant the petitioner, one second, let me find. Thank you, that's not much. Alright, so I would move to grant the petitioner,
Actually, Gerard Welch.
Gerard Welsh, a variance from sections, zoning bylaw sections 452, 6.0, 6.3, and 7.4 of the zoning bylaws in order to build the landing and roof in accordance with the plans as described in the proposed plot plan, 20 Glen Road, drafted by Rober Survey, 1072 A Massachusetts Avenue, Arlington, Mass. 02476. With the following, dated 11/18/22. As depicted on certified plot plan provided by Rober Survey of Arlington, Mass. And certified by Scott Lynch, PLS, on, it looks like 11/18/2022.
Okay, can we just clarify, because there was actually 2 plans submitted here with the application. I think one of them is for this,
So with
Thought I
the
saw two
dimension
plans.
and specs allowing for the 6-foot long landing with by 3.5 feet inch wide landing, including a roof covering the same dimensions and specs as the landing itself.
Second.
Any further comment?
I would second that.
So all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Again, aye. Opposed? One. All right, by a 4-to-1 vote, your variance has passed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, so when you weren't here last month, there was a stack of plans that I signed, which is the first time I'd ever signed plans since I became chair. Is that necessary or not?
I usually sign them nowadays, so you don't have to.
Yeah, all right, you
Thank
can-
you
you
for
can sign them,
doing
that's
them
fine.
in my absence.
Okay. So our next business is approval of minutes, which were circulated to us last week. As far as I'm aware, nobody submitted any amendments to Amanda by email, right, before now? Okay, so let's look at the first ones for April 21st, 22. Did anybody have any corrections or comments? I just note that I did. At the bottom of page 1, under the 10 Grand Street, I was referred to as Mr. Hartman several times, and it should be Ms.
And you.
That's the only one I picked up too.
Okay, so can I have if nobody else has any issues, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended for April 21st, 2022?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'll abstain.
One abstention who was not here, because he was not a member then.
Exactly.
Those minutes are approved. Let's go on to May 19th, 2022. I noticed also on the very last line of the first page, it says the front door faces Country Road and it should be County Road.
I'm not listed in the present members, even though I am listed elsewhere.
Oh, you were present,
Yeah.
okay, obviously. Anything else?
The only other one I would suggest we add is then on the second page in the bold type where it says, you made a motion to make a finding, blah, blah, blah. I think it would be nice if we put in the minutes what the finding was. Define the finding that
I
we
can
were
do that.
approving,
Yeah, you can do that.
okay?
Great.
I think that makes it complete.
Okay,
That's it for me.
all right. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes as amended?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
One abstention. All right, those are approved. And the last set is September 7th, 2022. Anything?
Yeah. People are gonna learn how to spell Si's last name. I think it's on the front page and it's on the, I guess that's the only place where it's on.
It should have an A the first time, right?
Top of the second page, yeah. That's the only thing I find.
Looks like it.
I set Word to automatically correct that every time. Anything else?
No.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve these minutes as amended?
So moved?
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And those minutes are approved. Okay, is there any other business that we have?
Yeah, wanna do an hour off?
Oh, we can do it off, yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I have no other business.
Motion to adjourn.
all right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned.